How much longer are you going to keep wasting time before you start building the life you truly want? That's a question most of us avoid, but sooner or later it catches up with us. Maybe today is that moment for you. Maybe it's the first time in a long while that you've stopped and thought, I can't keep living on autopilot. Something has to change. The great masters of Stoicism, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca, left behind a truth that's impossible to ignore. Your life changes the moment you stop pouring energy into what doesn't matter and start focusing on what builds character, peace, and purpose. If you're tired of feeling like the days pass without leaving a mark, if that sense of distraction, dispersion, and stagnation weighs on you, then this message is for you. Today we're going to dive into 8 simple yet powerful Stoic lessons that can help you reclaim your time, your focus, and your direction. This isn't about distant theory. It's about practical tools to transform your life. Words like discipline, self-control, purpose, clarity, and resilience will appear naturally, not as slogans, but as keys to help you regain control. Before we start, I want to invite you to a symbolic gesture. If this message resonates with you, scroll down to the comments and write, "Today I reclaim my time and my power." It may seem simple, but writing it is an inner act of commitment. It's declaring that you will no longer give your energy to what drains you. It's affirming that today you begin to build with awareness, discipline, and clarity. Let's go. Let's begin. Lesson 1. What you repeat defines you. You're not stuck because of one big mistake. You're stuck because of small actions you repeat every day without noticing. Your habits aren't just routines. They're silent decisions shaping who you are. Every time you give in to procrastination, get distracted without resistance, choose comfort over necessity, you're training your mind to be weaker. But every time you choose discipline, even for 1 minute, you're training your inner strength. What you repeat defines you. This isn't a pretty phrase, it's a practical law. Your identity is built in silence, in the actions you sustain when no one is watching. Excellence isn't luck, it's the accumulated result of thousands of small choices. Think of it like a hammer striking the same stone. 1 hit, 2, 10, nothing changes. But after 100, the stone cracks. That's how your life works. It's not one explosive action that transforms you. It's the repetition of what matters, even on days without motivation. Choose one simple action and repeat it daily. Don't chase immediate results, chase consistency. Each repetition is a brick in your character. Over time, your mind learns to trust you. And when you trust yourself, you reclaim your power. Lesson 2. Your path is unique. Stop comparing you. Waste time and energy looking at paths that aren't yours. Every time you compare your life to someone else's, you lose clarity. Every time you measure yourself by someone else's standards, you drift away from your own growth. Comparison is a silent trap. It convinces you that you're late when, in reality, you're just walking a different road. And the worst part? You compare your entire life to the most polished fragment of someone else's. That will never be fair. The Stoics said, the only real measure of progress is you versus your past self. Ask yourself, who were you 30 days ago? Are you more aware, more disciplined? Have you overcome a distraction that used to control you? That's proof of your progress. When you understand this, something inside you breaks free. Pressure drops, your mind clears, and a new strength appears, the will to move forward without anxiety. Because now you're not advancing to impress others, you're advancing to honor your own process. Lesson 3. Between stimulus and response lies your power. Life will hit you without warning. A criticism, bad news, a comment. Your body reacts before your mind. You get angry, anxious, and feel like you've lost. But listen, not every emotion deserves immediate action. Stoicism is clear. What happens doesn't define you. What you do with what happens does. Between stimulus and response, there's a space. That space is your freedom. When you breathe before acting, you regain control. Train that pause. Don't repress the emotion, but don't merge with it. Ask, does this deserve my energy? Does this response reflect who I am or just my impulse? This simple habit will give you peace, wiser decisions, and fewer regrets. Lesson 4. Stop fighting invisible enemies. You spend more energy battling things that don't exist than facing real problems. You worry about conversations that never happened, mistakes you haven't made, futures that only exist in your mind. That drain steals your strength and time. Your uncontrolled mind is your greatest enemy. It's not work, not other people. It's the silent war against imaginary scenarios. Anxiety doesn't come from what happens. It comes from the story you tell yourself about what happens. When your mind creates a dark scenario, ask, is this a fact or an assumption? That question cuts through the fog. It brings you back to the present, where you have power. When you stop fighting ghosts, your energy returns to what matters. Lesson 5. It's never too late to learn. The biggest barrier isn't lack of time or talent. It's your own excuses. It's too late. I'm not good at this. But that barrier wasn't placed by life. You placed it. Epictetus was born without privilege, without freedom, and yet he chose to learn. Your starting point doesn't define your destination. What defines it is your discipline. Replace I can't with I don't know yet. That word opens doors. Learning something small every day builds character. It proves you're not finished, that you can still evolve. It's never too late to learn, but it is too late to keep denying it. Lesson 6. Your response is your sovereign territory. You can't control everything around you, but you can control how you respond. That's your greatest form of power. Before reacting, ask, does this deserve my energy? If not, let it go. If yes, respond firmly, but without losing your center. Controlling your response isn't just practical, it's character. It proves your peace isn't for sale. Whoever masters their response masters their life. Lesson 7. Your worth comes from within. If your worth depends on others, it will never be yours. Seeking approval is surrendering power. Stoicism teaches, what depends on others doesn't belong to you. Your worth comes from coherence, thinking, speaking, and acting in alignment, even when no one sees. Each coherent action strengthens your character. Each honest decision reinforces your presence. When your worth comes from within, no criticism breaks it, no praise inflates it, no silence erases it. Lesson 8. The most important promise is the one you make to yourself. Most people feel stuck not because of lack of talent, but because they break their own promises. Every time you say, I'll start tomorrow and don't, your self-respect cracks. And without trust, there's no discipline. Your life changes when you keep the promises you make to yourself. Each promise kept is a brick. Each excuse is a crack. Choose to build. Start small, but keep going. Because every time you follow through, your mind learns, I can trust myself. If you've made it this far, remember, your time is your life. Every day you choose focus, discipline, and action, you move closer to the person you can become. Stoicism doesn't ask for perfection, it asks for awareness and firmness. Before you leave, reaffirm your commitment. Write in the comments, today I reclaim my time and my power. This phrase isn't just words, it's a declaration, a reminder that responsibility begins with you. If this content brought you value, like, share, and subscribe. That helps me keep creating messages that guide you on your journey. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing growth. And remember, every day is an opportunity to build the life you want, not to keep wasting time.